Hey folks, welcome to Thinking Theology. I'm Don. I don't take a dogmatic stance on atheism or religion. I just look at arguments being made. This happens to be something that I love. This is from NASA's website, their YouTube channel, The Best of 2024. Always loved space. Back when I was a teenager, I dropped quite a bit of coin on a Celestron 8 telescope, reflector scope. I had a Mylar filter. I could look at the sunspots. I would see like the belt of Orion, and it was the Crab Nebula. The stuff was just amazing. I don't care. Even Einstein, who believed in God, he said, but what he wanted to know was the laws that govern the universe, how and why those parts go together. And in any case, I don't care if you're an atheist or believe hardcore in God. I like nice people, but space has always been fascinating. Whether you think it was created by God or just the matter in the universe always existed, or there are questions that you still have, this stuff is awesome. So let's take a look at I haven't seen this. It looks to be only 2.5 minutes long.
The NASA team, the world's greatest workforce,
James Webb,
in 2024 dreamed dazzling new dreams.
Spaceflight is the ultimate team sport.
The exploration we're doing is the first few steps on the path of getting humans to Mars.
Please welcome NASA's 23rd astronaut class.
In 2024, we prepared to leave our boot prints and open new doors of discovery on the moon and beyond.
This was the first of 3 NASA analog missions to simulate a Mars environment.
Never in our wildest dreams did we think that our little ingenuity would last this long.
Space brings nations of the Earth together. That's the power of NASA.
Are you guys ready for an eclipse?
Now we're getting to totality.
We find common ground by looking to the stars.
And liftoff.
With the help of our commercial partners, we launched into a new era. New things are possible. More things are possible. Our satellites studied the air we breathe, the oceans we share, the land we live on, to help protect our fragile Earth, the only home that we will ever know.
Well, actually, that's kind of self-defeating, because it may not be the only home we will ever know, because Artemis is designed to make Mars home, to try to colonize it. It's part of the subject of my book that I wrote last year, but I'll get into that afterward.
Behold, our stunning X-59.
An X-plane that will shape the next era of supersonic flight.
Cutting flight time from New York to Los Angeles in half.
We turned the phenomenal into fact. Giant leaps in technology, leading the way to scientific discovery to unlock the secrets, the wonders, the majesty of the universe.
And liftoff of Europa Clipper.
Europa has the best chance for life beyond Earth in our solar system today.
Oh, 'cause I think we have there's water on it.
We can sail on the cosmic sea to far-off cosmic shores.
Yeah. Well, obviously we know the subject of the book that I'd written on human personalities, I put in an appendix. After I described the 9 personalities that comprise the human race, 7 of which, in my estimation, are favorable in varying degrees to the social construct of mankind, 2 of which are negative, I said, if you could play Elon, because Elon Musk is planning on colonizing Mars or assisting NASA, or he may take the lead on this just because he's Elon and this is kind of what he does. We tend to focus on the physical aspects of colonizing another place that's inhospitable currently to human life, such as Mars, such as the moon. Where are we going to get water from? Where are we going to get oxygen from? And so and just getting there. I mean, it takes about 4 months for a spaceship to get to Mars. So we tend to focus on the physical aspects of it, of just life support. But then once we get there, my point in the book is, how would you construct the personality types? If my premise is correct, or what, it's an audacious claim that there are 9 personalities comprising the human race, and if I've depicted and characterized them properly, if you were in charge of selecting 50 people to go in that first group to colonize Mars, what would the personality types be? So all that said, when we there are implications, ramifications, and considerations of space travel, of colonizing a place like Mars, like Artemis is going there, and the space environment, and how will people get along in an unfamiliar environment. But the other things, the James Webb Space Telescope, I mean, that wasn't launched this past year. It was launched, what was it, 2 years ago at this point? It was like Christmas Day that it launched. Maybe it's been up there for a year now. And it, on all 400 some odd moving components, had to all function properly for it to function well. And they all did, which was an engineering feat that is beyond belief. Just getting it out of Earth's orbit and escape velocity without damaging the mirrors. I mean, that to me is unbelievable, because the G-forces on the rocket ship going up, delivering it, are exorbitant. And in any case, it got there, it worked, and what it's discovering about galaxies moving faster, entire galaxies redshifting. They're moving away from us faster than the speed of light, or at least it seems. I mean, Einstein said that can't be done. Yet, it seems we're seeing it. So we have to account for the prior theories that we had of mass and matter and physics. And one of the basic physical principles or laws is that the physical laws exist uniformly throughout the universe. But then you get into the Big Bang and, the infinitely dense point out of which it is theorized or speculated by some, let's say, that all matter in the universe as we currently understand it emanated from, came out of that. Laws then in that infinitely dense speck were different than what we observe now. So there's a lot to be accounted for, a lot we don't know, and that's the fun part. That is the fun part of science, is not knowing. It is also partly for the fun part of religion for folks to say, was there a mind, an independent agent, a being, which we designate in many quarters as God, that created everything somehow? For some folks, that's their lifelong ambition, is to support their belief in God. Fine, I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. It's not what I'm doing. But neither is my lifelong ambition to support and say science is absolutely correct, because there's no such thing in many ways as science. There are people. Like when I see the claim that science says X, Y, and Z. No, it doesn't. There's no such thing as science saying. There are people saying it who've made inferences from observation and from logic and from math, and all the input variables leads them to a certain conclusion that they place a great deal of trust in now. Science doesn't say that. People say that. It's actually dehumanizing when we say science says this. It's like, no, Carl Sagan said this, or whomever said a given thing. That is humanizing them. That is their position. So discovering what we discover in the universe is absolutely, I mean, when I see people going for a walk at night and they're looking down and not up, at like, you can't always look up because you'll walk into a parked car or a moving car or a house or whatever. Obviously, you're going to pay attention to where you're going. But for the most part, I'm looking up, just contemplating, trying to understand the distances, the sizes, the densities. Is that star further away than that one, even though this one looks brighter than that one? It could be 1,000,000 times bigger than the one over here. But what NASA discovers, I'm all in favor of funding NASA. Obviously, you want to spend the money well. James Webb Space Telescope almost didn't happen because it was like $10 billion over budget, and I don't know, 10 or 15 years too long, and it got done. And we're discovering some amazing things. I guess we'll find out if it's worth it. But anyway, that was NASA's own video of their year in review. And we're going to see what comes of Artemis and Mars. So leave your comments, folks. If you think God made all this happen, good for you. Be cool about it. Or if you don't think there's a God and just are still mesmerized completely by what takes place up there, that's cool too. I mean, believe it or not, we can all get along. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Leave your comments. Please subscribe if you've made it this far and like the video. That helps move things along. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep thinking theology.